Welcome back everyone. Day 2 of the Hungary Grand Slam is in the books. Quite an exciting day. Lots of historic moments like this match up here. If you're not sure why it's historical, basically Said Malai used to compete for Iran, and one day they were matched up, Sagimuki from Israel, and Malai got a call from his government, hey, you're not allowed to compete against him. Basically forced him out of the match. He had to resign. And this kind of sent Malai on a spiral where he changed a bunch of countries, competed for Mongolia for a bit, now Azerbaijan, and so I think it's about 3 years after he was forced to not face Muki, they finally meet, and Malai gets through with the win. So I might do an extended video on this later, but for the meantime I want to stay focused on Malai. Just going to play the commentary. It was a match against Malai and Tatalashvili. It's basically about this new rollover. You can see it here. Malai goes in, counters. Now there's confusion here. Malai, he thinks it's a score. I think it's a score, but there's a new rule where it's not a score anymore. And then he does it again in this following segment, but I'll just let the commentary play. You can hear the confusion and let me know what you think in the comments.
He hasn't ridden the technique that Tatalashvili was attempting. That's a really good turn. I like that.
Well, yeah, difference, isn't it,
well,
between a roll?
Yeah.
So they got to differentiate between a roll and directing it back with the hands.
Okay, so I was a little confused here first. The difference is between rolling the person over for a counter and using your hands and countering them with newaza. To me, those are the same thing, but okay, whatever.
Are they looking at it?
No, not even going to have a look. That's what they've decided.
So, yeah, that's the that was what we said, was anything that rolls is not going to be counted.
Going to go again here.
Now that was a Kosoto there. That was slightly different.
So from here on out, it goes into newaza. Malai gets the hold down. He's not given a score for that counter. And then the newaza is reversed. And the video referees, I guess they're kind of looking at things, but they give Malai the wazari, and there's just a big confusion about whether he got the wazari for holding Tatalashvili down for 10 seconds, or it was the counter, and we'll never know.
So the first hold down was 10 seconds, I don't know, yes. Or it might be that takedown, that might be the wazari, you know. That was the one I thought was wazari.
I thought it was wazari.
Anyway, that's enough about that. Let me know in the comments. I think it's a dumb rule and they should change it. So at 81s we had Schmidt from Brazil, and Schmidt just being this rising star, taking out all sorts of people. Now he's got a win over Malai and he's just adding names to his resume. I would have liked to seen him against Fujiwara. I think Fujiwara, although he won his first match, I think he had an injury or something, didn't compete in his second match. So that's a bit unfortunate, not sure what happened. And guys, what do you think about this score? So this is against Albarak. Schmidt's had a win over him before. Goes in here for Uranage, but Albarak lands on his elbows and then gets a Shido for it. And that was the third Shido, so personally I would prefer to give the point for Schmidt for the throw instead of penalizing Albarak for, you know, landing on your elbows. I don't know. Bring back the Koka? Why not? Here's the last sequence in the final against Malai, and Schmidt just looking aggressive, had a couple of good attempts with the Ochigari, and this ended up giving Malai the third Shido, and so Schmidt walks home with the gold. At under 73 we had Hedorov, and Hedorov, he's just showing like a lot of experience these days. He's got really exceptional newaza. He doesn't really come across as the guy who's like, you know, like Cass. When you think of Cass you think of newaza, but Hedorov doesn't really give off that image, but when he does get down there, he's just got really solid newaza. Look at this. Nice squinage. Gets the score, enough to get a score. And then, of course, in the final, meeting Shavdar Tuashvili, and when you're fighting that guy, if you don't have experience or technique or skill, I mean, you're not going anywhere. But look at this. Amazing counter. Shavdar Tuashvili, he loves that little foot sweep. Got it on Oyoshi not too long ago, and Hedorov countered it well. Next up, the golds at 57 and 63, claimed by the Japanese. Funakubo and Horikawa. Here's a couple of clips, but all I gotta say is there was an assassin. So I think I'll do an extended video on this. I think if I did it here, it would take up like 10-15 minutes of newaza, so stay tuned for that one. Lastly, the bronze medal contests. So Orojov taking bronze at 73, and look at this counter. Vasily goes in for a tomoe-nage, and Orojov with a nice kosodo gets a score there. And then of course in the bronze match, a nice wazari to seal the deal. Well, not really sealing the deal, but got ahead on the points and ran out the time. Brilliant wazari. There was also Butbol at 73, and at 81 we had Esposito. Esposito, I think he got one wazari the entire day. This is it here, but managing to win everything else by Shido. And Tatalashvili comes back in through the repechage and takes bronze as well. In the women's at 57 we had Klimkite and Nelson. I think Nelson gets the award for fastest Ippon in the contest, 12 seconds into her bronze medal match. Scores a wonderful Ippon. And at 63 we had Barrios and Del Toro. So that's it guys. See you for the action on day 3. Peace out, like, subscribe, and make sure to comment. See ya.